I hope everyone had an amazing and meaningful Pesach. That we're going to talk about the importance of taking advantage of the Pesach, because today was Issru Chag. Issru Chag is the day after the Pesach. Now, of course, the day after any Chag. Now, of course, we have a pasuk that we said in Hallel every day of Pesach. Issru Chag ba'avotim karonot al mizbeach. Now, the meaning of the pasuk is that they would take the korban for every Chag, and they would tie it to the horns of the mizbeach, to the karonot al mizbeach. And it was a very festive event. It was very, they're bringing the offer, they're offering in, people are excited, this is a very chagigi moment, very, very excited. Now, the Gemara says that anyone who does Issru Chag with eating and drinking, they get a zechut, they get a merit as if they built a mizbeach.
Issru Chag is when the galut is still doing the...
We're going to explain it. So Rashi there says, what is eating and drinking? Brings two pirushim. One pirush is that it's eating on the Chag itself, and the other pirush is that it's the day after Chag. Now, the Rama brings this Rashi. He brings it to halacha. Shulchan Aruch Siman Taf Kuf Tet. And there he brings that there's a minchag on the day after Chag. You got to eat a little bit extra, eat a little bit more, drink a little bit more than you would normally do on a regular day. So that's what we have halacha. But what's the idea? The idea is that when you have Shabbat and you have Chag, why does Chag have an extra day, and why does Shabbat it doesn't have an extra day? So Rabbeinu Ari, Arav Yitzchak Luria, he's the biggest Gaon in Kabbalah. He changed the world of Kabbalah. All of the Kabbalah goes through him. There's no
Chassidut started with him, and
everything starts and stops with Rabbeinu Ari. If the Rabbeinu Chida says that even if when it comes to Pirush on the Zohar, explaining the Zohar, even if the Ari says that white is black and the black is white, we go like the Ari. Everyone disagrees with him, we go like the Ari. Because his Chavuta was Eliyahu Navi. He was getting direct from Shamayim information that there no one else had. Wow. And so when we talk about this figure, we talk about this Damut of this Rav, he could look at a person and tell exactly what his sins are, exactly what he's doing in this world, what Gilgul he's in, what he has, why he came in Gilgul, what he has to fix. He just looks at a person, knows everything. He also had the ability to look at a person, make him forget everything. So imagine someone gets pulled over by the police. The person comes look up in the car, and he just looks at him. He has a certain kavanah that he's gonna do on him, and the guy just forgets everything. And the police officer's there, just like, what are we doing here? He goes, you're about to give me an outstanding driver award, and so he says, oh really? Okay, great. Here's your outstanding driver award. Now, so the Rabbeinu already explains it like this: Shabbat, the lahavdil, when I use a metaphor, the Shabbat is like you buy Bitcoin. What happens when you buy Bitcoin? All of a sudden it spikes up. All of the Kedusha of Shabbat comes in, goes to the highest level of Kedusha, to the world that's called Atzilut. We have four worlds, Asiyah, Yetzirah, B'riyah, Atzilut. Goes all the way up, and then Motzei Shabbat crashes down, just like Bitcoin. Bitcoin goes all the way up, and immediately crashes down. So very much like Bitcoin. Lahavdil. Yom Tov is different. Yom Tov is like a very steady growing. The Kedusha comes in slower, and it doesn't go as high. It only gets up to Olam HaBriyah, and then it goes out, and it gets stretched out into the next day. So the next, because it goes out slow, it gets stretched out into the next day.
Well, and I have an idea. Maybe overseas, the second day is Yom Tov because it takes longer to...
according to the Pashat, the second day of Yom Tov, it comes because they were trying to... they had to notify in Bavel when the Kiddush Chodesh was, when they saw the moon, to say that it was Rosh Chodesh. And so because it would take time to get there, especially if there was weather problems or something, so there, you have to cross borders, it could be very difficult. By the time they got there, They could have passed the Chag, so they did 2 days of Chag. The Hachamim made a Gezerah. When the Hachamim make a Gezerah, there's always a reason according to the simple meaning. They bring the reason. The reason is why we have to notify them. It takes time to notify. Okay, now we know, we have a set calendar. Why do we have to do it? Because there's always we say, the Hachamim say, even though the reason no longer exists, the Gezerah, the decree still exists, and so the decree continues. But there's always extra reasoning. The Ben Ish Chai says everything that the Hachamim did, there's just like you can say, there's in the Torah you have Pashat. You have the simple meaning, you have the drash, remez, drash, sod, you have levels of understanding and everything gets deeper and deeper. Also what the Hachamim said, there's levels. There's the simple reason and it gets deeper and deeper. So even though the simple reason that we have to notify everyone in Chutz La'aretz, in Bavel, that the Yom Tov is when it's going to be, the underlying secret reasonings are still there. And so we can't get rid of it, that's why it's still in Chutz La'aretz, they do 2 days. Now, what does that mean for us? What is the whole point of our Chagim? Just to have a fun time, to eat, drink, be merry? No, Chas v'Shalom. Our Chagim, they were called Regalim. Regalim, that means the Kadosh Baruch Hu actually invited us to come to His house. It was the one time of the year that everyone had to come to the Beit HaMikdash. Everyone, and someone can go through his regular day. This is not the Kohanim are doing the korbanot. I don't have to do anything. B'ezrat Hashem, I don't have any sins. I have to bring a korban chatat. So I don't have to go to the Beit HaMikdash. So what? On the holidays you have to go. The Kadosh Baruch Hu invites you. He literally brings you closer, invites you into His house. But not just that. It's bigger than that. That you have to bring a korban. What's korban? Korban is for the same shon, the same language as litkarev, to get closer. And so you're actually all of the Hagim, even today when there are korbanot, the B'ezrat Hashem, we're going to have them very soon, the whole point is to get closer to Kadosh Baruch Hu. It's like the plug-in. We're plugging in with the source of the Kedusha, we're plugging in with the source of the holiness, we're getting recharged and refilled with Kedusha, and that's going to continue us till the next Chag. Now, so what's the point of Issru Chag? And now that we know, we say the Chag is the most, the point is that we have recharge. Issru Chag, the point of Issru Chag is that now we're going to take that Kedusha and we're going to continue it to the rest of the year. I took time on Pesach. I didn't do Pesach like I get on the bus. How do I get on the bus? I get on the bus, I take my Rav-Kav, I take my bus card, I tap it, it takes the money down. That's it. I didn't do Pesach like that. I didn't say, oh, Baruch atah Hashem Elokeinu melech haolam she'gel Hashem mitzvotav v'tzivanu ala achilat matzah, but ding! Oh, I did it.
No, you need to be focused.
I need to be and not just focused on the mitzvah. To have kavanah and mitzvah, even though you have to have kavanah, you have to have intention when you're doing a mitzvah. You have to think about, what am I doing here? That every person has to see themselves as if they went out of Mitzrayim. So if someone went out of Mitzrayim, they saw themselves as a slave. They're in this. They vision themselves in this jalabiyah of 30,000 years ago, and it's falling apart. And they're really slaves, and they get, they see that they're going. They feel themselves going out, and they see themselves, moving from slavery to freedom. And not just that, on the seventh day, they see themselves on the shores of the Yam Suf. And they envision the splitting of the sea, just like the Rabbeinu Agra says that someone has to really activate their imagination on Leil Seder. They really have to envision themselves that they're there. That's what the Haggadah says, that you have to see yourself as if you went out of Mitzrayim. If you did that as much as you were supposed to, there's no reason that you should not have gotten closer to Kadosh Baruch Hu. That you shouldn't feel more emunah, more yirat shamayim, more fear of God, more faith in God. And so you have this drive. You all of a sudden have this awakening. You're getting closer to Kadosh Baruch Hu. Now what do you do with it? You're gonna go back to work on Sunday and it's gonna peter out. It's gonna get chas v'shalom. You're gonna go back to your normal way of life. No, you want to take advantage of that. So, what does it mean le'esor in Hebrew? It means to tie things together. So we have to take that hitchazekut, that Hitorarut, that we woke up and we got stronger, we got closer to the Kadosh Baruch Hu, we have to tie all those feelings together and tie it to ourselves. So that this Pesach becomes the base to go up higher. And on Shavuot, I'm going to go higher. Obviously, if you're at the Omer, I'm going to go higher. I'm going to go higher on Shavuot.
I forgot to bless, oh my god.
We're going to go even higher. And we're going to go even higher on next Pesach. And what's going to happen? Next Pesach, we're going to be back here, B'ezrat Hashem. We're going to be having another shiur, and we're going to say, wow, do you remember who we were on Erev Pesach last year? We should not even recognize who that person is. I'm so much different, I'm so much stronger now, that I'm a completely different person now, B'ezrat Hashem. And I've gotten so much closer to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That's the whole point of Issru Chag, is to take advantage of that we had this opportunity to connect with the Kadosh Baruch Hu, and all of the kedusha that we took down. All the kedusha that we took down, we're not just going to let it spill. I heard an amazing metaphor that it's like you take a cup that's too small and you put it into a cappuccino machine, or you put no cup at all. You just turn on the machine, all of the coffee comes spilling out. If we make ourselves a nice kli, if we put the cup there, the cup gets filled up. We can take advantage of it. We can drink it. We can enjoy it. We get everything out of that kedusha that is coming out of this metaphoric machine lahavdil.
So I was counting the Omer, sorry.
Baruch Hashem. Shmona yamim.
Yeah. שהם שבוע אחד ויום אחד.
ויום אחד, yes. Okay. This Shabbat, B'ezrat Hashem.